SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
This is Gerard Gibert, and thank you for listening to MidDays here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
MidDays with Gerard Gibert is on the air. MidDays with Gerard Gibert is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. Get ready to go beyond the headlines and join a meaningful conversation with people from around the state. You're listening to MidDays with Gerard Gibert here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Everyone, and welcome to MidDays SuperTalk Mississippi. I'm your host, Gerard Gibert, along with Rhino in the Element Wealth Studio, guiding you through the middle of your day with facts, fodder, and fine music. Morning on this Christmas week there, Rhino.
Howdy.
Okay, help me out now. What's our schedule again? I have a hard time keeping up with it, so what's the story?
Well, let's see. Today we've got SuperTalk Outdoors at 12 o'clock with Ricky Matthews. Tomorrow we'll have a normal show. Wednesday we'll have a normal middays. But at 6 o'clock Wednesday night, we will begin the Christmas festivities on the air and on SuperTalk TV. And that will continue all throughout Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day.
Okay.
And then on Friday, we'll be right back here with post-game report.
Regular old show on Friday, huh? All right, today we got Jay Lake from Carter Jewelers. 10:37, Michael Borkey, host of Sports Talk Mississippi. He'll share his thoughts on the Ole Miss victory this past Saturday. Ole Miss advancing to the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs. That'll be held. Ole Miss will be traveling to take on the Georgia Bulldogs for the second time this season. That will be on New Year's Day in New Orleans in the Superdome, the Sugar Bowl. That's where we are. That's after the Rebels took care of business over Tulane. There were a lot of folks saying, it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season, and they're a lot better than they were. I don't know. It pretty much looked to me like Ole Miss dominated the game. Of course. I had figured that after they scored the second touchdown, Rhino, according to my calculations, they ran 7 plays and had 14 points. I think I got that right. So that's 2 points a play early on in the game. But we've got Michael Borkey coming on. He, of course, the host, one of the hosts of Sports Talk Mississippi, the wildly popular Sports Talk Mississippi. Steve Azar, speaking of the Christmas program here that will be airing on the SuperTalk Network. Of course, Steve is the host of In a Mississippi Minute right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, a musician in Mississippi's music and cultural ambassador, as he is often referred to. He'll come on at 11:05, and he'll discuss the upcoming Azar Christmas special. That kicks off at 6 o'clock on the 23rd. Is that correct?
That's
Did I get
correct.
that right? Okay. So that's the schedule.
Immediately following Sports Talk.
Okay, gotcha.
On Wednesday.
3 to 6, Sports Talk, its usual time on Wednesday. And then
usually there is Thunder and Lightning from 6 to 7.
That's right, on Wednesday. But this year, because of Wednesday falling on the day before Christmas Eve, we got Steve Azar's Christmas special right here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Cool. Good stuff. Well, something we've talked about on the program in the past, and that's falling fertility rates. So just came across a pretty good piece over the weekend, an opinion piece of course, Christmas, and it discusses Christmas being about the birth of a child. Christians celebrate the nativity. However, our own cradles are becoming increasingly empty. This opinion writer, Don Fetter, published this piece in the Washington Times over the weekend, says that this decline in our reproductive rates is a trend that, quote, will not bring joy to the world. Interesting. Steeply falling fertility or demographic winter could spell the end of civilization. Now, I don't want to be on the doom and gloom train here. This is something that Elon Musk has discussed over the last couple of years, that we're going to run out of people. It is a disturbing trend. It
seems to have become his pickup line.
There are some countries in Africa, in the Middle East, where you will find a fertility rate that is equal or above the replacement rate, but the rest of the world is seeing declining fertility rates. Here at home, we've got a fertility rate of about 1.6. The replacement rate is pegged at 2.1 births for the average woman. And there are a number of factors, right, Rhino, that contribute to this. If you talk to those and conduct interviews and just have this discussion about declining fertility rates with those whose age is between what is considered the childbearing years, 18 to like 42 or something, I think, is typically somewhere in there is what I see usually is the age range of those who are interviewed about this issue. And there are just a myriad. There's not like one thing you can point to and say, okay, that's it. Yep, that's why we have a declining fertility rate. We're actually kind of awash, pun intended, in diapers and baby formula compared with the rest of the developed world. In Britain, the fertility rate is a stunning 1.4. Germany, 1.3. Italy, 1.2. Japan, this is where it's probably the most pronounced, the most acute.
South Korea, but yeah, Japan's up there.
Yeah, you're right. South Korea has a lower fertility rate than Japan, but I think about Japan just because of the size of the population. But you're right. South Korea, a fertility rate of 0.72. Japan, 1.15. And I know we've said it before. It wasn't too long ago. It seems that I recall Japan having like consequences if you had more than one child, right? You would get, is that right? Or China?
That wasn't Japan, that was China.
China was actually...
China had the one-child policy.
And engaged in abortion to a great extent, right, to address that issue.
And infanticide, yes.
And infanticide, which is even just more unbelievable. But these low fertility rates are something. Japan's prime minister says the baby bust is her nation's biggest problem. They have the world's oldest population. 30% of the residents of Japan are older than 65. In the United States, it's 18%, but it's climbing. That 18% figure in the U.S. is climbing. And I think we're pretty close, are we not, to having a population breakdown where we have more people over 65 than we do under the age of 18. Asia is clearly in much worse shape than North America is. Many Japanese are dying alone. They have a name for it in Japan. They call it lonely death. Because there are no young people around them. They didn't propagate. Didn't create a remaining family, if you will. So they're having this...
I thought you were going to give the Japanese a go on that.
What's that?
The lonely death. Like, they got a name for it. It's kodokushi.
Oh, okay.
It means lonely death.
I didn't know that. That's obviously the Japanese word for it, term for it, lonely death. Interesting. So is this the sign of things to come in this country?
It could be.
I mean, and it affects everything. You think about our pension plans, which rely on workers, young workers, paying in, Medicare, health care in general. When more of our population is old, sicker, consuming more health care?
As silly as it is, the reason I say it could be and not it will be is because, and I almost hate myself for saying this, it's because America has Taylor Swift.
Okay.
If Taylor Swift marries Travis Kelce and within a year or so they're welcoming Baby Swift or Baby Kelce or Baby whatever name they decide, there are enough Swifties on this planet that eat, breathe, and sleep whatever she does. There will be a mini baby boom.
That's an excellent observation. I agree with you, actually. And there, throughout our history, right, lots of trends are set by favored celebrities. Clothing, hair, lifestyle.
Become more prevalent in the last 100 years, but yeah, it's got historic precedent.
That's a good point. Coming right back in the Element Wealth studio at 10:26. It's Jay Lake with Carter Jewelers. Michael Borkey at 10:37. This segment of Middays with Gerard Gibert is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Now back to Middays with Gerard here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Well, I remember every little thing as if it happened only yesterday. Parking by the lake and there was not another car inside. And I never had a girl looking any better than you did. And all the kids at school, they were wishing they were me that night. But now our bodies are so.
Welcome back, everyone. It is Middays. So we're just talking about the falling fertility rates. Paul in Meridian says, are they including Muslims in this? Absolutely. And there's a decline in the falling fertility rates. However, the fertility rate in the sort of sub-Saharan countries, that would be Niger, Mali, Somalia, have some of the world's highest rates above the replacement level, but not enough to really make a difference globally. Globally, overall, the replacement level's down. In the Middle East and North Africa, the so-called MENA, I guess it's pronounced MENA countries. I've seen it written a bunch. Tunisia, Iran, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, all very sharp drops with a fertility rate below the replacement level. Just wanted to pass that on there to Paul. 2 words, Bill Gates. Not really. Bill Gates has talked about health care, education, and access to reproductive services. And in particular, he talked about something that we should all be aware of in the state of Mississippi, which is we have the highest infant mortality rate. It's a huge problem. We do have a problem with respect to access to reproductive health services. We just have a lot of rural areas, sparsely populated areas, and you have to go a long way to find an OBGYN. But he has really never, this has all been taken out of context and been proven over and over and over and over again. He's never really talked about concerns about population growth other than the health outcomes associated with the gestation period and process. So I think it's a little unfair to criticize Gates. And look, Rhino, folks out there in the United States that are choosing not to have children, that are in the childbearing years, have you ever seen one of them say it's because of Bill Gates? No, that's not what it is. Now, Kamala Harris was saying that it's because of climate change. They don't want to bring a child into the world because the planet's going to just collapse in 10 years, right? Which was idiotic. That's not the reason either.
Maybe those people shouldn't bring somebody into the world.
Agree. That's part
if
of the
they're
problem.
That gullible and that susceptible to Chicken Little, then yeah, maybe it's a good idea.
And there's been lots of talk about what to do about this issue. There's a lot of people that are just finding that in the childbearing age that they don't want the responsibilities of a child associated with having a child. They like their free time. That's what you hear more than anything. They like their free time, their entertainment time, this idea of having a child and having to obviously be dedicated to taking care of that child, committed to it. Especially in the early years, it's a 7/24 deal. And you got to make the conscious decision that you're okay with that. And then they see, this has been talked about a lot, they see that, okay, once that child gets to the age where they're involved in all the various activities available to children, such as sports, youth sports, and how crazy that's gotten, and how expensive that's gotten, and how you feel compelled and obligated to ensure your child participates in that, right? So there's a number of reasons. All right, we ready for Jay? Not yet. Okay. So this is an issue, and I'm not for moral welfare. I'm not for, we'll give you money from the government. That's what Hungary is doing, which I think is bad policy. Actually talked about a bit by the president, ultimately didn't make its way in to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Okay, we got Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers. He's on location at Carter Jewelers. All right, Jay, what's going on today?
Merry Christmas, Gerard. How are you?
Merry Christmas. All is good, man. We're just winding down the year here as we approach Christmas, and then we roll right into the holiday week between Christmas and New Year's. Looking forward to a little downtime. We'll still be doing the show, but I guess it's not quite as intense as it gets when they gather up in the Capitol not far from where you are, which is going to happen in about 3 weeks. So what's going on down there?
Yeah. Oh, well, back in 2024, the price of gold rose 40% or more, and then this year went up over 60%. But me and Carter Jewelers, we purchased a whole lot of closeouts, a lot of gold chains, and then we still have hundreds of pieces of that at the old gold prices. And then Dad came in. He came in and helped me the other day, and he started even marking them down further. So there's some great deals. He got them marked down in green. We got interest-free financing for approved credit. No credit checks online, carterdiamonds.com. Get pre-approved, find out how much you can get, and then come in and get your purchase. If you have any old scrapped gold, jewelry, old rings you don't like anymore, past marriages, bring your jewelry in, and I'll give you a lot towards the new trade-in, or I'll even pay you cash for that. And we're here today till 6 o'clock, or 10 to 6 tomorrow, and then Christmas Eve we'll probably open early, probably 8 to 6 Christmas Eve. And just come in. We got front door parking is downtown High and State Street, and we'll gift wrap it. We'll take layaways, 10% down, interest free, 12 months on the layaways, and just come talk to me. I'll help you find something. We got a big staff here. We'll help you find something in your budget or whatever your needs are. We'll take care of you, and we want to have a relationship with you. So y'all come in and come see me. Carter Jewelers, 711 High Street, 601-354-354 is our number. But we got tennis bracelets. I got the engagement rings packed in there. We got the old world quality engagement rings, custom designs. You can even get them online and design something yourself. We got thousands of diamonds online you can pick from, and great deals on those. And we also have the lab diamonds now. The prices of the labs is going to be a lot less. So you can get a fine diamond engagement ring, $500, real diamonds, real gold, 14 karat, and we have lots of selections under $100. So we got everything you need here. We got Seiko watches, pearls, 7,000 square feet, over 3,000 square feet of diamond jewelry. Lots of selects to pick from down here. So I hope to see y'all real soon.
You got the whole team in there today, Jay, working since it's Christmas?
Yeah, we got everybody here. I came a little early today and put the jewelry out. Customers start coming around 8 during the holidays. But yeah, people paying their layaways out and diamond studs. That's been real popular. We sold out of the yellow gold, so we just got some new ones in. We put them in. So if you needed yellow gold diamond studs and the yellow gold hoops, we got a big selection of those, and the necklace, the matching necklaces to go with it. Yeah, y'all come in, and we got lots of wedding sets too, trio sets. We got those in now. For if you just need to hurry up and get married, we got everything for you, and we can size it, set your diamonds. We have loose diamonds to pick from. Lots of different options here. Colored stones, rubies, emeralds, blue topaz, aquamarine. We got whatever you need. And my name's Jay, and I'll take care of anybody that comes in. And my dad's here today too. If y'all want to come in and say hey to him, I think he's going to be coming in later. But how much more time we got?
You got about a minute.
Okay. Minute. Okay. What else we got? I'm trying to think here. We got security. They're over there watching everything. We can fix your watches. We got a full-time jeweler on staff and watchmaker. We can take your links out and fix your batteries. If you bought a ring somewhere else, we can size it here, but not before Christmas. It's going to be after Christmas. But we can do all the repairs. If it's broken, we can give you an estimate and see if you want. Maybe you're thinking about trading that in. You know, if a diamond fell out, or you've had it for 10 years, 5 years, it could be worn out, and that'll be a good time to bring it in. Maybe look at upgrading a new engagement ring. Downtown Jackson, 711 High Street, corner of High Street and State. We're here till 6 o'clock today, and 10 to 6 tomorrow. And then Christmas Eve, we're probably going to open a little early, maybe around 8 to 6 Christmas Eve. And CarterDiamonds.com is our website, CarterDiamonds.com. Get pre-approved, no credit check, bad credit, it doesn't matter.
All right, we got to go, but we're going to talk to you again at 10:50. Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers, coming right back with Michael Borkey.
You're listening to Middays with Gerard Gibert, here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Oh, mama, I can hear you a-crying. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long.
Yes, a little sticks bumping us into this segment here of Middays as we welcome Michael Borkey, host of Sports Talk Mississippi. What's up there, Michael?
Oh, nothing. I mean, nothing to really talk about, nothing to prepare for today. It's Christmas. I mean, we've all got the day off, and we're running best ofs, and get ready for baseball season, I guess.
Yeah. Well, were you surprised Saturday at the Ole Miss game?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And no, because Pete Golding has a pedigree that not enough people have talked about. And that's the interesting part about his promotion to permanent head coach is here, of course, in this state, you had half of our audience that were just, oh, he's the next Zach Arnett and he's not ready and all that stuff. But when Kirby Smart got the Georgia job, everybody was like, Kirby's going to be great. He's built for this, all that stuff. Same thing with Dan Lanning at Oregon. Pete Golding worked for Nick Saban for over half a decade. And then, of course, he's been at Ole Miss for years as well. He's not new to success, and he's not new to playoffs. He has a national championship ring as a defensive coordinator. So the idea that like he was going to be swimming and there's so much that he has to learn about being a head coach was always a little silly, because look at who he's worked for. He worked for Nick Saban and most recently Lane Kiffin. Those guys know a thing or two about winning football games. And so Ole Miss playing well isn't surprising in that regard. And the team has done a lot of overcoming of adversity all season. Yeah. It's a veteran group, and it's obviously a veteran group with not only if you just look at their ages on paper, but with the way they conduct themselves. And they've overcome some challenges this year. But on the flip side, I am surprised because this is, people overuse the phrase unprecedented, but this is truly unprecedented. Pete Golding did have to take over a team after a coach left and try to burn everything down in his wake. He did have to keep a staff together, and a handful of the members of that staff are coaching for LSU. Mm-hmm. And all of the stuff that has come with that, and to play as well as they did, is not surprising because it's Pete Golding. But when you think about it in the context of what they had to deal with, to look as comfortable as they did is a refreshing surprise.
Well, honestly, as a spectator, as a fan that was at the game and attended it, I just didn't see like that there was any disruption in the flow of the game, just play calling, the level of play.
And even things like game management. I mean, you had a couple of fourth down decisions, decided to try to draw them off sides, took an intentional delay of game, and Oscar Bird pinned him deep. And instead of going forward on fourth down deep in Tulane territory, going ahead and taking the 3 points, things like that. But timeout management, end of half management, those kind of things that coaches at times need to learn, at least on Saturday. Now, the game was never in doubt. They're significantly better than Tulane. Maybe it changes with the pressure of opponent, but all of that looked the exact same. And the parallels between Saturday and then when these two teams played back in September is fascinating because the conversation has been, what will Ole Miss look like without Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
And Saturday didn't give us a clear answer of that because it'll be Pete's team and program next year.
Right.
But they played Tulane the exact same with Lane Kiffin and without Lane Kiffin. It didn't look or feel or act any different at all. And that's a testament to the players, but also Pete Golding.
Do you think that puts the Lane Kiffin saga further in the rearview mirror there?
No, because Lane will not allow that to be.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, that's the.
I've heard
the
he's
next
still
layer.
trolling around Oxford, and he's in touch with all the people that he socialized with, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
During the state championship in Louisiana, the high school state championship, he was in Oxford doing hot yoga instead of watching the most talent-rich program in his new state compete for a state championship. I mean, that's what he was doing. But I mean, and then you see yesterday, LSU puts a video out there of the Ole Miss staff members.
Yeah.
Arriving in Baton Rouge to work for LSU, including Kevin Smith, and when Ole Miss hired Frank Wilson, you kind of knew that Kevin Smith was out the door, but still, it's like not even 24 hours after Ole Miss wins a game, hey, from LSU, here's a video of Ole Miss coaches arriving into Baton Rouge, and of course Lane was sharing that all over the place too, so he will not allow this to go away. He, during the game, shared a graphic with Trinidad Chambliss on the graphic as Trinidad Chambliss was playing quarterback on the field during that game. So, no, there's no way that he will allow this to go away. He's going to constantly remind people that he exists
and he
through
got,
all of this.
What, $250K?
$250K.
For the win. Man, for Ole Miss winning, let's be clear.
I know LSU wanted him badly, and so they were desperate, and they did whatever they could. I can't wrap my mind around LSU writing a check to a coach for Ole Miss winning. That would be like KPMG writing the bonus check for Deloitte's CEO. It's like you're paying for Ole Miss wins in the playoff. It's totally bizarre. I can't believe LSU agreed to that thing in their contract, but they did. They were desperate, and desperate times, desperate measures, I guess.
That is just crazy. All right. Traveling to New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl, the next round to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we've seen these two teams play before, and I mean, it's fascinating because that game, Ole Miss defensively played the worst game that they've played all season. Ole Miss offensively played the three best quarters they've played all season, and then were a disaster in the fourth. And that was ultimately the difference in the game is Georgia executed when it mattered most, and Ole Miss did not. But what I think Ole Miss should have learned in that game is they can play with those guys. You lost by a touchdown on the road in Athens. Nobody wins at Athens. And you can line up and play with them. And defensively, you played as bad as you possibly could, especially on the line of scrimmage where Ole Miss has been better since then. So I think that would be the feeling. It should be the prevailing feeling for Ole Miss is, look, you're an underdog for a reason. It is Georgia. But if you don't think that group of guys can't line up and play with Georgia again, I think you're sorely mistaken. So lane or no lane, the players lined up and played with Georgia's players for 4 quarters, and you would assume that they think that with a little adjusting, not only can they do it again, but maybe they can come out on top this time.
Neutral site.
It will be absolutely neutral, even though Georgia knew before Saturday that they were going, and Ole Miss fans obviously had to wait. I'm here to tell you that Ole Miss fans have been preparing since the second the bracket came out to get down there. And the playoff does a really good job of making sure that the stadium is as even as possible. Yeah. So true neutral site and not necessarily a free shot, because free shot implies that you don't necessarily belong. And so just play hard and you'll see what happens. Ole Miss belongs in this game. They belong in a game against an opponent like that. But the pressure is more on Georgia than it is on Ole Miss in this game. Yeah,
and let's be honest, Michael, we don't exactly have the household names in the quarterfinals here, right? I mean, with Ole Miss being in there, Indiana Texas Tech.
It's almost like
Miami hadn't been around a while. So.
I mean, for people my age, really, or younger than me, Miami's been irrelevant in their lives. It's anybody kind of my age and older, because 2001, 2002 was when they were really
I remember.
Good.
They dominated.
And then just fell off a cliff. But Miami's been quote unquote irrelevant for a while now. But it goes to show you in this era, you don't need the biggest stadium. You don't need Heisman trophies from 2007 or whatever. You just need everybody involved to be pulling the rope in the same direction. And Indiana's done that. Texas Tech has done that. Ole Miss has done that. And sure enough, there are 3 of the remaining 8 teams in college football. That's not by accident.
It's also not dominated as it has been by the SEC.
I mean, even Georgia. Georgia's a machine under Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
But he himself will tell you they don't have the depth that they used to. That they have to be even more intentional with how they do things, because they can't just stockpile a roster anymore. This is a really good Georgia team. I mean, really good. There's a reason they're a touchdown favorite in this game. But they don't have the 1 through 22, every single player is dominant, and then they've had a couple of injuries, and the guys that have replaced them, you have questions about. It's not as they just don't have 100 of the best players in college football anymore. They have 44 of them, and the guys that are backing them up are not the same as they were 6-10 years ago.
Historically, that's been the advantage that a program like Georgia, like Alabama, even like a Penn State, for example, through the years have had.
It's not the same anymore.
Number 2 comes in, you can't tell the difference between them and number 1. Not that way anymore, is it?
Not that way. I mean, to use an example in this state, Georgia would have a backup receiver right now that'd be a quality player. Well, he spent the year in Starkville.
Yeah.
That's how it works now. So you don't need to be as good 1 through 85 anymore. You need to be good 1 through 44 to compete with a Georgia. And Ole Miss is good enough 1 through 44 to line up with and play with and compete with Georgia.
Should be interesting. So the line is 7 at this point in favor of Georgia. 6.5. I think that's fair.
That's about right.
Yeah. I think that's right. But they got it wrong for Saturday, didn't they? The odds makers.
Yes, they
17,
did.
I think, was the final
17,
line. Yeah. Oh, well. Michael Borkey, host of Sports Talk Mississippi, with his analysis on the game this past weekend in Oxford and the upcoming Rebel bout against Georgia in the Superdome in New Orleans, January 1st.
January 1st, yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Anytime.
Thanks, man. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Coming right back with Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers.
You're listening to Middays with Gerard here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
back, everyone. It's Middays from the Element Well studio. We appreciate Michael Borkey coming in the studio to give us his thoughts, to share his thoughts on the game this past Saturday. And as he frequently does, Rhino, he brought his precious little son, who on his way out came by to give hugs to me and Rhino and wished us a Merry Christmas. That made my day, guys, I got to tell you. I mean, he stepped up on this platform and embraced me and said, Merry Christmas, and man, oh man, how cool was that? Thank you for coming in, Michael, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thanks for bringing your son today. That brightened our day for sure. We got Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers, calling in again from the store in downtown Jackson. All right, Jay, you got it.
Hey, Gerard, Merry Christmas. Thank you. I was going to say we got a lot of pieces around 70% off. Actually, most of the pieces in here. We got men's wedding bands starting at $60. Ladies' wedding bands starting at $300, solid gold, and engagement rings, real natural diamond, earth mine diamond engagement rings starting at $500, 14-karat gold, and you can get the other silver diamond ones starting at $200. So if you need an engagement ring, now's the time to do it. You can get approved online, CarterDiamonds.com. No credit needed, bad credit, CarterDiamonds.com. Click on the lease to own link, and you get pre-approved. Then you come in, pick out what you want. The gold prices went up in the past 2 years over 60%, and I bought a lot of closeouts, gold chains, all kinds of different diamond jewelry. Fine, old world quality, real heavy quality. You can feel the difference in this quality, but those are amazing deals in here. And Dad came in and marked them down even further the past couple days, and around 70% off on a lot of these pieces. So come in, get approved online, or if you have good credit, you can come in and get 18 months interest-free financing with a loan on that. But yeah, come in downtown Jackson, corner of High and State Street. We will gift wrap everything. If you want to do layaway for an anniversary or birthday, you can do that 10% down, interest-free, 12 months on that. And tennis bracelets, diamond stud earrings, emeralds, sapphires, rubies. Anything you need, we got it. 7,000 square feet. Mostly diamond merchandise and all other merchandise, gold hoops, platinum. We got a lot of different price ranges here. So what else is going on, Gerard?
I don't know, man. You tell me. It's your gig. You gotta wrangle the people in there. So you tell the folks where you're located again.
We're downtown Jackson, corner of High and State Street, 711 High Street. My phone number is 601-354-3549. And we're here till 6 o'clock today. Tomorrow at 10 to 6. And then Christmas Eve, we're probably open a little early, around 8 to 6 Christmas Eve. And, come in. We'll if you can't, if you're looking for a price range, come see me. We have a lot of pieces in the safe, loose diamonds. We have a jeweler here who can size your rings. If you buy it here, we can get it done before Christmas. If you don't buy it, it's going to take a couple weeks on that. We have Seiko watches. We can size them just to fit you. And even if you don't buy it here, we can still size them and put a battery in there for you and fix all your jewelry. All here on site.
Do you have a lot of folks, Jay, that will come in on Christmas Eve that have one more gift to buy, or really have just procrastinated like a lot of us do and decide, I'm going to head down there and make a selection?
Oh, yeah. Like the other day, I bought some Christmas presents a few weeks ago, and I can't find them. I can't remember where I put them. So, yeah, most guys come in about Christmas Eve or the day before, we can keep up with the things. So we're real busy Christmas Eve and the day before that. So this whole week's going to be real busy for us.
Gotcha.
People already started coming in an hour early today.
Gotcha.
And then, we have lots of pearls, pearl necklaces, pearl earrings, pearl bracelets. And we have if you have a bigger bracelet, if your wife has a bigger wrist, we have some bigger pieces that can go around their wrist, 8 inches, and some that are expandable, and you can like move them back and forth. Pretty cool.
Gotcha.
And then adjustable chains if you want those. If you want like for a different dress or whatever, you can come in and get those.
All right. Well, we got to go, but we're going to talk to you one more time at 11:50 to wrap the show up today. Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers. Tell them again where you are, Jay.
Downtown Jackson, corner of High and State Street.
Sounds good.
711 High Street, 601-354-549.
All right. We're going to take a break right now. We got Fox News, SuperTalk News coming your way, and then it's Steve Azar, host of In a Mississippi Minute, to talk about his big upcoming Christmas special.
Hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus.
Middays with Gerard Gibert is brought to you by the Mississippi Business Journal. Visit msbusinessjournal.com. Scott Coopwood, publisher and president.
And now, the talk that keeps Mississippi talking.
That's what I like to listen to.
You're listening to Middays with Gerard Gibert. Here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Middays, hour 2 of the program, live from the Element Wealth studio. That, of course, the great Steve Perry and Journey bumping us into hour 2 with our good friend, the host of In a Mississippi Minute, Steve Azar. What's up there, brother Steve?
Gerard, good morning. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. So it is our tradition here on SuperTalk Mississippi for you to host the Christmas special that airs across our network, and that kicks off on the 23rd at 6 p.m. That's what we enjoy here on SuperTalk. You have fun doing that, don't you, Steve?
I love it. Who would have thought? You know, it's been so much fun. I guess this is our 9th year. I think we've done it every year.
Yeah.
Unless we missed year 1, but I don't think we did. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm a fan of Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then I'm a fan of when it comes to March Madness and Augusta National. So these are my, I'm getting into my season here.
I got you. All right, so tell us about kind of the mixture, the balance of music that you spin up for the special, Steve.
So Will East and I, we partner up pretty dang good on this thing. In the very beginning, we started thinking about, first of all, there's so much Mississippi music, Christmas music that's been made. Obviously, we're the birthplace of it all. We've influenced the world. So any music that you hear, pretty much comes from our influence. So we're a heavy dose of Mississippi. And from Elvis to BB to Dorothy to Bobby to you name it, Cedric, Faith, Marty. I have a Christmas song myself called Catfish Christmas, but I'm the least of my worries on the show. But then all the traditionals, and then we go a little further. So our tradition is just really genre free. Okay. So I think it's a really good show to sort of tune into and get a dose of it all.
That's a good point, isn't it, Steve? That when it comes to Christmas music, it really does span all the genres, all the musical categories. I mean, it's not like, okay, Christmas music, that belongs to this sort of style of music. That's not the case. It's all.
Yeah, everybody sort of wants to do a Christmas record or have a Christmas song or two. To me, when you hear something like Burl Ives or you hear Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra and all that, it's just it reminds you of Christmas. Andy Williams, all that stuff I grew up listening to with my parents. And then obviously it keeps coming. And there's certain songs that keep getting remade. And they're sort of done in the way that the artist does it. When that happens, it sort of spans the test of time. After that, I think that the song sticks around because they did it their own way. But with that said, you got to keep enough tradition into the song. It's like doing the national anthem. Everybody has their free will and free way of doing it. But if you get too far off the beaten path, it's not our national anthem anymore. So you sort of got to stay reverent. Got to stay reverent. But at the same time, look, I love it. And I've got a lot of my friends who tells their Christmas stories from the entertainment business and beyond. That I get them in a vulnerable position to tell me about, one of their Christmas memories. And it's a beautiful thing to sort of – a lot of these Christmas memories are in their childhood before they ever became stars. So it's great that those memories are still prevalent in their mind after all the success that they've had.
Is there a particular artist, particular album that is your favorite, Steve, that you could share?
Yeah, I think Andy Williams' Christmas is my favorite of all time, and then I think Elvis's as well. So I sort of think about the two of them. BB had the best Christmas songs as well. I think of him. I know the song Santa Claus Needs Some Lovin' by Albert King was pretty dang good. So every once in a while it gets a little wild, but no, I think Andy and Elvis and BB I think are my favorite trifecta.
Okay. Well, I'll have to share mine and get you to react to it. And like you said,
I should be switching this and asking you questions.
No. I just want to share this with you to see what you think. And you mentioned something a minute ago. This is music that you and I, kind of in that age range, grew up with. And the one that I grew up with that my mother just loved to play, and of course, we're spinning it, on the turntable. Ray Conniff, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. It just incredible.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. Was that the original recording? Wouldn't it have been, Gerard?
Yes. And I got to tell you, I still enjoy it today. My wife has me put it on. I kind of introduced it to her when we started dating. And on Christmas morning, she makes me put it on. And, of course, it's all digital now. But 1962, it's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, and isn't it funny? Well, first of all, Christmas comes once a year. Yeah. And except for Hallmark playing their Christmas shows in July, we got about now they stretch it out. But you think about it, we've got probably about a month after Thanksgiving worth of listening to Christmas music every year. Yeah. And so those classics are classics for a reason. Yeah. They're just they were great records back then. And they're great records now. So, Steve, what is it, as a composer yourself, a successful composer, what does it say about the composers of this music where what they wrote, their works, are still being enjoyed today? They're timeless. Well, first of all, that they had extreme heart. Sometimes they didn't write it. Sometimes they just sang. A lot of great singers back then, and you had writers doing their own thing. Yeah. And sometimes there was the mashup, but it's still like it is today. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I just think that their voices, their vulnerability, their love of Christmas, love of this time of year, the spirit of Christmas, it just sort of all kind of came together on one body of work, and you just can't. It'll stand every test of time. Every challenge that comes along, and it'll never fade. It just doesn't happen. You mentioned Andy Williams, and I agree. It doesn't seem like it's Christmas without Andy Williams and the many carols that he so expertly performed. But what I miss, Steve, is the variety shows of that era where they would dedicate a whole show, right, and perform all the music. Andy Williams being one of them. Yeah, they don't. You think of the Rat Pack back in the days. They don't do it like they used to. I don't know if it would work, Gerard. Those guys, they were so timeless. Yeah. There's something about them that just reminds you of Christmas. And I think as the generations keep going, everybody's kids keep hearing those songs, and it becomes new to them, so it has a new life. Yeah. And then keeps those artists alive who made an impact on so many. That's all I can make of it. The strange bedfellows of Bing Crosby and David Bowie, right? With Little Drummer Boy. Oh, what gosh. A classic. Still enjoyed today. That was amazing. Yeah, that is so good. And we'll be playing that, by the way. It'll be played. It is awesome. You'd be amazed at Will Lee's eclectic Christmas music that he's got. I'm just sort of his sidekick. I'm riding in the shotgun, and he's putting all that together. And he's an amazing producer, obviously, and everything he stands for, SuperTalk. So shout out to Will for doing all the hard work.
Yeah, amen. That's awesome. So, once again, 6 o'clock on the 23rd, right, is when it kicks off. And how long does that endure, Steve?
Go through the next day.
Okay, through the next day.
It endures until people can't take me anymore, and they've had enough of me first. And then, it'll go a day and a half. And we've tried it on the 20. We've tried it before, even earlier, and sometimes later. So I think Will just thinks, well, let's try this. We're sort of a moving target every year, but it'll be a day and a half's worth.
That's awesome. Well, we'll certainly have it on at the house. As well. Always enjoy it.
Wait, when does it start, Gerard? What's the start time? You know more than I do.
6 p.m., right? Rhino? Yes, 6 p.m. on the 23rd.
We're at 2.5 days this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Goodness. Well, I'm sorry, everybody out there listening.
No, man.
For living in your ears and your Christmas. But I do love it, and I love our Mississippi, and I'm grateful for our team SuperTalk, that's for sure.
And, of course, as you mentioned at the top of the segment, you'll be highlighting the Christmas productions of the many talented Mississippi artists, right? Including yourself.
Yeah, we go. Well, we do, but I'm the least of my worries. I just grew up with so much great music, and I've gotten to know a lot of these artists over my lifetime.
Yeah,
and share the stage with a lot of them, have great conversations with them. So to finally, be the DJ, so to speak, the host of this show, and so it means a lot to me that I've gotten to do that with those guys and get to know a lot of them. And Mississippi, man, look, you know how I feel about our state and about our artists. It's the greatest music mecca of all places all over the world, and it's changed the world of music. And somebody said the other day, Gerard, I was interviewing my buddy Jimmy the Jeweler.
Yeah,
he is from Arizona, and he does Alice Cooper's jewelry. He does all these people from the great actors, all these rock stars.
Yeah.
And he said he became a jeweler because he saw Elvis with all this great jewelry on when he was a kid.
That's awesome.
And he said that changed his life. Now, I've never heard anybody talk about it becoming that kind of career rather than music. So
that's fantastic. Steve Azar, host of In a Mississippi Minute, talking about the big-time Azar Christmas special airing across the network. Thanks, Steve. Merry Christmas to you and Gwen and the family.
Love you, brother. I appreciate you. Well, I will. Back at you and your family, and I appreciate you so much, buddy.
You got it, man. Coming right back in the Element Wealth studio.
Trust Care's a proud Middays with Gerard Gibert.
Let's do this.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Let's go.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth.
A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, bless.
Welcome back, everyone. That's from the All Hit Request line. That is the Ray Conniff Orchestra and Singers from the 1962 album I was describing with our good friend Steve Azar. The album entitled We Wish You a Merry Christmas. That's my favorite all-time rendition of that fabulous Christmas song, Oh Holy Night. And I think it's because you got an orchestra there, you hear the various instruments you wouldn't hear unless it were an orchestra. And I just think it complements the lyrics in the song perfectly. So appreciate that. That gets me big time in the mood, certainly, for Christmas. So, On the C Spire text line, Darren in Jackson says, do you think that Kiffin really wanted Ole Miss to lose on Saturday? That's when we were talking to Michael Borkey, host of Sports Talk Mississippi. I don't know, but I do know this, Rhino. I got friends at Oxford that did tell me that knew him, and had a social relationship with him, which is not unusual for a coach and to have those kinds of relationships with the people that reside in the college football town. And it's like you can't leave it behind, so to speak. It still wants to be relevant, wants to be involved. It's just kind of weird, honestly. But he's just kind of an unusual person, I think, is the best way to put it.
An odd duck.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He just is. John in Pontotoc, Trinidad get another year. Man, all bets are out on that one. Not clear at this point what will be his ultimate decision, whether he comes back and plays or not. Let's see here. In regard to Kiffin's trolling of Ole Miss on the C Spire text line, you can take the H-E-A-U-X out of Oxford, but you can't take the Oxford out of the H-E-A-U-X. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's going to be, you're right. Tim and McGee weighs in. Conversation with Rhino this morning. Yeah, it is going to be AC weather, right? 70s. I think I just heard on the weather that Lance Tolbert provides here on our news break, 71 too, for the rest of the week in the 70s, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're working in an office and they haven't flipped the heat off, even though it's creeping on back up towards the 70s, I feel for you. It can get hecka stuffy.
Yeah, agree. It doesn't feel like Christmas when it's in the 70s, does it?
It's par for the course in Mississippi.
I reckon so.
We've had far more shorts and flip-flop Christmases than we've had white Christmases in my lifetime.
I agree. John from Hardeman County, Tennessee says, Merry Christmas, Gerard, and Merry Christmas, Rhino. Y'all keep entertained and informed. I listen every day. Well, Merry Christmas to you, John, and thank you for the kind feedback there. We certainly enjoy bringing the show to you, and we certainly also understand and acknowledge it's because of you and you tuning in that makes the show viable and keeps us going. And I'll have to say, and you know this, Rhino, you've been doing this longer than I, you feel a little sense of obligation, do you not? When you come in here, you get behind this mic. And that's why I think both of us probably over-prepare if there is such a thing. And I guess what I mean by that is, I know you, like me, you're scouting the news and looking for beyond just what, as our intro says, go beyond the headlines that pretty much everybody knows, so you're just doubling up on that. We look for maybe the issues and the reports and the stories that aren't just on the top of your reading list and try to bring that to you every day. And you do feel a sense of obligation. And thus the over-preparation and end up with lots of items and issues that we don't even have a chance to get to. And I know that we don't talk, we don't coordinate before we come on here, but I think we've got a bit of a flow going where you kind of know what I'm likely to bring up, and then you're prepared and ready to weigh in on that and offer your thoughts and analysis. And by the same token, you've got a different set of content that I don't have. So I think that's what drives us, makes it all worthwhile, in my view. So we appreciate that as well. Will they be playing Please Daddy by John Denver, says Dan in Hattiesburg. Not really sure. Faith Hill, talking about the low fertility rate in our country. A baby changes everything. Yeah, I agree. And like I said earlier, there are a number of factors that are contributing to the low fertility rate in the country. And somebody did point out, the Amish fertility rate is exceptionally high. That's absolutely true, and it has been for a long time. That's just kind of ingrained in their culture. 6 to 7 children per family is pretty normal in the Amish community. But they're still a teeny tiny fraction of the population. They're not going to resolve our low fertility rate problem.
To the point that their community population doesn't grow at the same rate as their birth rate, because they do have a sizable percentage of their youth that once they do their, I forget the name they give it, but there's a time period, I think it's when you're 16 or when you're 18, where you just kind of go out into the world to see the world and then come back. And there's a percentage of them that just decide they're not going back. So, yeah, they've got a high birth rate. But even looking at the quote-unquote replacement rate for their community, it's not as high as their birth rate.
Interesting. So, but when you look at, again, the myriad of concerns and issues and factors, I guess you would call it, contributing to the low birth rate, a lot of it's just a career focus, especially women that are just more focused on, committed to their careers and feel like that having a child would interfere with that. That's probably as big as any of them. High cost of housing.
I mean, you ask 100 people what the problem is, you'll probably get close to 100 different answers, anything from socioeconomic to cultural to you got some people that firmly believe it's the microplastics that are found everywhere nowadays
true.
That could be negatively impacting sperm counts and fertility and all that. I mean, it literally depends on who you ask as to what they believe is the problem, and that's part of the problem is there's no consensus on how to fix it if you got 50 million different ways to try to fix it.
That's so true. Now, there has been some discussion about providing some sort of financial reward, if you will, even from the federal government for those that have babies. And look, I think the compromise on that was the Trump accounts, because the president actually wanted to do more, modeling it after what Hungary had done. Literally, we'll pay you money if you go have a baby. I'm not for that. I don't think that's because it's money you get today. The Trump account situation is a compromise. Now, it was enacted for a 5-year period of time. Babies born during that 5-year period. And the other thing I like about it, it's $1,000. You can't touch it till you hit 18. And then even when you do, if you pull the money out that's been earned from that $1,000 for any purpose other than, I think, education and housing, there may be one or two others, you pay taxes on it. If you direct it to those purposes, which is thought to be in the best interest of society, then it's tax-free, no tax consequences. But the other cool part about it is allowing contributions into those accounts by an employer up to $2,500 a year, or just public in general. Just any donor can contribute to an account for an individual. Could be family, friends, etc. I like that. I think anytime you can get the public and private sector to share in the responsibility like that, it makes sense. I think we should be ensuring and taking action, I should say, in the upcoming legislative session to apply those same provisions to state income taxes. We should allow the same thing to happen from a state. In fact, what I'd like to see happen is that employers would be able to contribute to those accounts, and they can up to $2,500. But why don't we give them some sort of tax concession for doing that to incentivize our employers in the Mississippi? Notice I said employers, right? So that means you got to be working there. You're working to have these children. Coming right back.
Return to sender. Return to sender. Return to sender.
Middays with Gerard Gibert.
It is on
SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Middays from the Element Wealth Studio. So, another Christmas trend that kind of caught my eye. Celebrity naked Christmas trees. Have you seen this? Where a lot of the big names on the performing arts front celebrities including Julianne Moore, Michelle Pfeiffer, Victoria Beckham, Khloe Kardashian. They've kind of embraced this idea of trees without ornaments on them. Naked Christmas trees, they call it. I don't agree with them on this. That's fine. You want to do that. I hope that doesn't set a trend, but some say it's kind of peaceful and stress-free. I say you got to go all out and gaudy. It's elegant and no mess, said one person, embracing the simplicity as a calmer, cleaner take on the holidays. Others think it looks unfinished, even joyless. Some families have chosen the middle ground, placing like a naked tree somewhere in the house and then having another one that you're just all out on. Like maybe put the naked tree in a more formal room, such as a living room, and then put the big decorated up tree somewhere else in the house where the kids would enjoy it. There you go. Interesting. So, there's always a lot of talk about
like a Emperor's New Clothes kind of situation for their interior designers that set up there, because I highly doubt Michelle Pfeiffer is hauling the tree in from the tree farm and trying to make sure it's balanced in the holder, and then
I would agree,
untangling the lights.
Yeah.
No, the designer just showed up and was feeling lazy, and he's like, you know what? It's a new thing. It's called naked trees. We just put the tree in there, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's calming and peaceful.
Jeez.
And the people in Hollywood are like, yeah, it's cool. It's the new trend.
Does this sound like it's another deal for attention as well and some notoriety?
Naked trees is the call for attention on that one, yeah.
By the way, she was great in my favorite movie in which she starred, The Fabulous Baker Boys. She was really good in that one. So, we talk a lot about so-called income inequality, something old Bernie Sanders just absolutely detests. He and his Democratic Socialist cohort, which, by the way, that seems to be a demographic which is increasing in numbers. But get this.
Or at least increasing in volume.
Yeah, that's true. There are more self-made billionaires under the age of 30 than ever. 13 self-made. You know how the left always likes to say, it was not fair, they inherited all that. Wrong. They're always wrong, of course. In an attempt to get attention and be relevant, turns out there are 13 minted this past year, fueled by AI. And this is the one that fascinates me. I caught an interview with one of these 13 billionaires that launched a prediction market tool. This is fascinating. I mean, you could bet on anything, right? Like what color pants I'm going to wear tomorrow. So, turns out there's 13. So, I got curious. In the world, by the way, not just in the U.S., 5 are from abroad. The other 8 are U.S. citizens. I'm looking at one from Australia, Brazil. By the way, that's the prediction market billionaire, and that is what's her name? Luana Lopes Lara. She's 29. I caught an interview with her. I think it was Friday afternoon on the Business Channel. She's brilliant. She's awesome, and she teamed up with another student that I believe was from Lebanon, and they co-founded the prediction market startup Kalshi. Is it Kalshi? I think it's Kalshi. Kalshi. Yeah. Because I heard her pronounce it numerous times. And they joined the August 3 Comma Club, as we would call it, just this past year in December, actually, after they raised $1 billion for their startup. Now, not a public company, but the company is valued at $11 billion. So again, it's a situation where they're billionaires, as the saying goes, on paper. That's based on the estimated value of their company. So She became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire, 29 years old, coming up with this idea. And they came up with it while they were interns at quantitative trading firm Five Rings Capital in 2018 in New York. It's fascinating. I thought that was a great story. Let's see, looking at the others abroad, Fabian Hedden, 26 years old, worth $1.6 billion from Sweden. His source of wealth, AI coding. Started the company Lovable, and it enables non-coders to turn their ideas into websites, apps, online endeavors. Another from Sweden, also 26, worth $1.3 billion from the AI software business. Here's one from Pakistan. That's it for those from other countries, but the other 8 Americans. Incredible. 13 under the age of 30. You know, Bernie Sanders has got to just be livid about this. How could they get to that level of wealth? You know, he doesn't like that. He's also, of course, as we talked about last week, he's calling for a moratorium on data centers. So it looks like that's one thing that even some people on the right and he agree on, is a moratorium. But he did come out and say that, well, a lot of people are just going to make a lot of money off this. We can't have that. So I felt like that particular statement by Sanders, and I'm going to read it, read what he said if I can find it. That particular statement by Sanders where he's objecting to it, yeah, he says, we have to have a pause in the construction of data centers powering AI so elitists don't hoard the benefits of the technology. Elitists are hoarding the benefits of the technology? So is he saying that these 26 and 7-year-olds are elitists that became billionaires because they leveraged the technology? He's an idiot, is what he is. So I think this goes back to what I have shared as, a cause of so-called income inequality. It could be analyzed across the plain old statistical bell curve. You do have a sliver of the people, like these 13 billionaires, they figure out ways to leverage the tools that those who preceded them created into something that serves society, and they get rich doing it. Then you got the people on the other side, and that's what Bernie's worried about, except he's offered no solution to help them participate in this monumental opportunity and growth. They just dismiss it, don't engage, and thus their income, their wealth level stays down. And then there's the rest of us who are making some moderate use of all these tools and technologies, and we are seeing our situation improve. And we're in the middle part of the big statistical bell curve. So he just proved my point of why I think we have so-called income inequality. It's got nothing to do with, well, we just need to raise taxes, because he sees taxes as a tool, if you will, to just kind of level the income playing field. That's not the purpose of taxes. The purpose of taxes is not to punish one group and take their money and redistribute it to another. That's what he sees the tax code is useful for. No, we should raise the minimum amount, and I mean the minimum amount of taxes necessary to fund the constitutionally appropriate functions of government, period. End of story. But our government, our treasury, has essentially evolved into one big, giant redistribution apparatus. The constitutionally appropriate functions of government, heck, that's only about 15% of total spending. And even that's bloated. Oh, man. These people just ain't smart. Here at home, Speaker of the House Jason White, no secret, has pronounced that school choice is his top priority coming up in the 2026 session. The Mississippi professional educators, they are not happy about that. They say that Speaker White continues to indicate he plans to include numerous education issues, including school choice and a teacher pay raise in one bill, kind of a poison pill. Doing so will hold each measure hostage to the other. The Speaker got a bit upset about that. He said the MPE should be ashamed of this post, misleading and uninformed at best. No one in the legislature is tying school choice policy to teacher pay raise. You used the term hostage in the post. You're the one that's holding Mississippi kids and families hostage. Amen, Mr. Speaker. Coming right back with Jay
Poly Up of Mississippi.
Are we going to do this?
Middays with Gerard Gibert.
Keep rolling. 3, 2, 1.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Well, Santa looks a lot like Daddy, or Daddy looks a lot like him. It's not the way I had him pictured. Santa wasn't much too thin. He didn't come down the chimney.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Middays. I got to get this in here. Andy in Tupelo said, here in Tupelo, the superintendent's office is emailing out anti-school freedom propaganda straight from the parents' campaign. That's pathetic, Andy. I'm sorry to hear that. That's just wrong, in my view. I don't think that school boards and superintendents, I just don't think they should get involved in such a controversial issue on a public basis like that. They want to go talk to their legislators about that and the Speaker directly, but mailing out, where are they getting the money to do that, by the way? Oh, man. That's for another day. Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers, is our guest here. All right, Jay, we're wrapping up the show now because it's Ricky Matthews and SuperTalk Outdoors coming in at 12:05. What's been going on down there? You got lots of people coming in, taking advantage of the deals?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I was going to give you an example. We got most of the pieces 70% off right now. And yesterday, a lady put something on layaway, a necklace over a carat of diamonds, 14 karat gold, over 7 grams of gold on here. That is a closeout from Isabella Prada. They got it retailed at $8,250. I let her have it for $1,000 yesterday on layaway with 10% down. So, and the diamonds were near colorless, flawless, real good piece. That's just an example. We got many other pieces just like that in here. You can come in and get an heirloom piece. It'll last you forever. You can pass it down to your daughter, your son, and they can even pass it down to the next generation. We've been here since 1849. The oldest business in Jackson, right downtown Jackson, 711 High Street, corner of High and State. We got a big sale, Christmas sale going on. We got it fully stocked full of merchandise, engagement rings, tennis bracelets, diamond stud earrings. Huge shipment just came in of those, and diamond pendants. You can get pre-approved online, CarterDiamonds.com. Get pre-approved, no credit needed. And if you have good credit, you can get a loan, 18 months interest-free, no money down, just take it home with you. And we also have the layaways, like I said, 10% down. Free gift for out front door parking. All different price ranges, starting from $100 to $50,000. Just come see me. We'll take care of you. Find something you want, and even old pieces, it might be marked down even further. So come in and check it out. If you saw a piece you wanted, come in and come back and look at it. We'll sell it to you. And we have a jeweler on site. He can size your rings. He might not be able to get to it before Christmas. He's just now telling me, but he'll try. And but if you have a ring from somewhere else, he can still size it. It takes about 2 weeks on that. And we have loose diamonds, thousands of loose diamonds. You can look online, find you all different qualities, shapes, and sizes online. Heart shape, princess cut, rounds, all different shapes, and emerald cut, different sizes. And you can custom make your jewelry online too, and that takes about 3 months on that. So, but we have it all made up, heavy duty pieces. You can see the difference in the quality. Near colorless diamonds, flawless to the naked eye. And we also sell watches. If you want to get your husband something, and we can size the watches. You can order links. We can put them in. We can put the batteries in. We got a watchmaker on site who can fix all that, and the jeweler. We also have the pearl necklaces, great for church, pearl earrings, pearl bracelets, hoop earrings, gold hoops. Everybody needs some gold hoop earrings, and you can't have too many diamonds. But yeah, I'm going to be here till 6 today, maybe even later, till the last customer leaves, and then tomorrow we might open a little earlier, maybe around 9. Normally we open at 10. Tomorrow we'll be here till 6 p.m. at least. And then Christmas Eve, I'm going to try to get open a little earlier, too, maybe like 8. And we'll probably close at normal time, 6 o'clock Christmas Eve. And then, of course, Christmas will be closed. And then Saturday we'll be back open 10 to 5 on Saturday. And then Sunday we're closed. And call me if you have any questions, 601-354-3549. Again, that's 601-354-3549. And get online, CarterDiamonds.com, get pre-approved. Some of those pieces on the website we don't have in stock, but we got a lot of similar ones here in stock. And just get pre-approved and come in and pick out what you want. I think you got 90 days for those. It's a lease to own to get those paid out. But yeah, come out front door parking and gift wrap. We have lots of different options for you here. 7,000 square feet, mostly diamond jewelry and color stones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, color stone, blue topaz, and we also have a lot of estate pieces, some antiques.
All right. Sounds good,
old diamond
Jay.
cuts.
Appreciate it, man. We got to go. We're out
Merry
of time
Christmas.
here today. Merry Christmas to you as well. Jay Lake, owner of Carter Jewelers. Folks, that's the end of our show for this Monday of Christmas week. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and God bless everyone.
Ooh, there'll be no more sorrow, no grief and pain, and I'll be happy Christmas once again.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.